entrepreneur, published author, and owner of Inspired Business Group, along with his co-host and director of operation, Amy Maley. Thanks for tuning in, and let's join this episode of Title Talk. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Title Talk episode. My name is Drew.
My name is Amy.
We are your hosts for another episode, and we are thankful to be here and happy to be here with our...
With a full house.
Yeah, it's like this
full house.
This is packed today. We have Andy and Anthony here today. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Tell us, tell the folks who you are, how they can get a hold of you, all of that fun.
Yeah, we are both mortgage brokers. Brothers, obviously, if you couldn't tell us.
No, you don't
There's
say
no
it.
way.
I never knew that. I missed that part.
But yeah, I mean, so I obviously both of our names are AO, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I branded myself as AO the Mortgage Pro, and everything I do,
I love
tells
it.
me to AO the Mortgage
That is
Pro. It's nice and
fantastic.
simple.
Above his head, you can see it right there.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
The Mortgage Pro.
AO
TikTok,
the-
Instagram,
So Andy's the
Facebook.
pro. Anthony, what are you then?
So I'm Piggy so here's kind of where we're at.
Let's see what happened.
I consider myself a professional myself, but he had already claimed that. So we're shifting it a little bit to be AO the Mortgage Bros.
Oh, I like it. I do
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
He got into the mortgage game a little sooner than I did. I was
Okay.
a math teacher for 6 years,
Nice.
and I just left in May. So now, yeah, that's kind of when that shift happened.
As soon as you mentioned, I called my designer. I was like, "Hey, do this logo change for me." And
Yeah.
I showed it to him right away. I was like, "Hey, I'm excited to bring you on the team." And
How cool is
honestly,
that?
he's hit the ground running. I love
Yeah.
what he's doing so far
That's
right away.
awesome.
Yeah.
Just he appreciates the grind of what we do, and
Mhm.
obviously we're very similar as well. Outside
Yeah.
of looking like each other, we're very similar in personality.
Yeah.
So going out, meeting new people, and just
Yeah.
doing what we do, it's been great.
Right on. And
Yeah.
like, so you joined it at the after the mortgage boom.
The refi boom.
Yeah, so-
towards the end of it.
Missed it by that
I
much.
know.
So
The
close.
problem is, so we work with our cousin based out of Michigan, but he, a few summers ago, because I was a teacher, I had summers off, he was like, "Oh, I need help processing some loans,
Mhm.
like, and you're completely available for 3 months. You wanna
Yeah.
help?" So I said, yeah, and I helped him out for a few months, and then school came back, and he's like, "Why don't you just, quit teaching and just do this?" I was like, "No, I like teaching, this was my passion, blah, blah, blah." So I stuck with
It
teaching
really
for
sounds
a
like
year.
it.
Yeah.
Passion.
I stuck with
Super
it. I stuck with it for another year, and then another year, and then another year, and then the refi boom kind of ended, and then I was like, you know what, that's it. You were right. And he's like, "I told you 3 years ago to do this." But
What
You gotta
grade
make the
did you
decision
teach?
for yourself.
I taught 3 years in high school and 3 years in 8th grade, and all math.
Did you like math when you were younger?
Yes and no. Like I did.
Uh huh.
And I got to high school and I actually had a D minus my freshman year. And I almost,
See, you can still be a teacher.
Yeah.
Full transparency.
This is our future.
we went to Providence.
Yeah.
And they put me on academic probation because my GPA was so low. They were gonna kick me out, it was the whole thing, and then I kind of started the grind, and then I got my
Yeah.
GPA up, and I just gained an appreciation for it, and then I think I was like, I don't know if you remember Mr. Patempa, the math teacher. I don't know, but
No.
I okay.
Apparently, he meant something to you.
He's
Though,
one of
so-
the reasons I decided to be a teacher back when I was 16. So that's kind of why I stuck
Really?
with it for as long as I
Wow.
did. Yeah, it was cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's usually that one teacher that like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the reason you want to
yeah,
go into it.
Yeah.
So you went from high school kids and the rat race of that going, "No, I'm passionate about this," and you went into the mortgage business. Like the kids today, it's not the same.
No.
No.
I mean, when we went, when you guys went to school versus
Yeah,
I went to school.
we.
Yeah.
You.
And then, I rode the horse and buggy to
Yeah.
school. There was no bus.
Perfect.
I went to Brother Rice, so I'm very
Oh,
familiar with
okay.
the Catholic education and
Sure.
stuff. So, loved it and all, but it's very different. And teaching in today's schools is, again, I often say that teachers should have been paid like doctors because they're raising our kids.
Absolutely,
And stuff. But so tell us a little bit about the mortgage biz. Everybody's got this false sense of, oh my gosh, the world is ending because the rates are going up and I should never do anything anymore and wait till the next boom.
Yeah.
Tell us otherwise.
The world is always ending.
Yes,
For something,
that-
right?
that is true.
There's always something going on. But
This is
honestly,
true.
like, if you're ready to buy a home, buy the home, right? The market is gonna correct itself where it needs to. Yes, rates are a little high, but the rate is not the most important thing. To me, the most important thing is the mortgage payment.
Amen.
If you can afford the payment, then buy the house now. Start building equity. Stop paying rent to landlords who are using your money to pay their mortgages off.
Yeah.
Start building your own equity and build a future for yourself because if the rates go up, you're in a great position now, and if rates go down, then just refinance and save yourself some money.
Right,
So
right,
it's, the rate is not as important as what people think it is, so yeah, it's, if you're ready to buy a home, buy the home.
That's a great
Absolutely.
tip. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's very well said, and a lot of folks, you know, the process of this whole thing is when do you introduce yourself to the mortgage team? You know, and we're telling them on the title side, you got to get pre-approved.
Yesterday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You know, certainly you got your realtor, now you're finding your house and all that stuff, but before the realtor can show you the house, you got to get pre-approved.
Yeah.
Because why are they going to show you something you can't afford?
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
So you're really introduced on the early stage of
Definitely.
the process,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you could talk about for just a brief little bit, the process of being pre-approved and then the validity or the strength of some of them, because that's been a conversation we've heard from other folks in the industry.
This is a good question.
They're not,
I like it.
there's not a lot of they're just not great, the pre-approval letters.
Yeah, so for me, big thing is we, again, are mortgage brokers.
Okay.
It's very important to understand the distinction between a
Awesome.
broker and a retail lender.
Awesome.
So when you get a pre-approval letter from, and I don't wanna throw the big retail lenders under the bus,
No,
but I'm
no.
gonna. So the Rocket Mortgage, the Wells Fargos, the Bank of Americas, all those big retail banks, stay away from them, right? You're basically just a loan to them, you're just a number to them. With
Agreed.
us as a broker side, you're gonna get one-on-one experience, and we have lower rates, lower closing costs, and again, you have our cell phone number, so text us, call us anytime you need something. Very hard to get in touch with the retail banks, and they hand out pre-approvals like it's candy.
Yes.
And that's the
Right,
hardest
and
part, because retail, like realtors especially, when they see a pre-approval letter from a Wells Fargo or a Rocket Mortgage, a lot of times they won't accept that offer, because they might
'Cause
run
what does
into,
that mean?
yeah, they
Right.
might run into trouble, they've had experience in the past where they got close to the closing table and it didn't close, and so for us, our pre-approval is ironclad, like I do so much underwriting before the
Yeah.
pre-approval happens, that when you get one from me, you know it will close. So that's like the most important thing for me, is you go over your income, your debts, all the stuff that we need, we verify the documents, and that is done in such a way that retail banks don't do, I think. And so I think our pre-approvals mean a lot more than what those guys are offering.
Go ahead.
And how long does like the pre-approval process usually take working with you guys? Is it like a week? Is it 3 days? Is it
Typically, I can get a pre-approval to somebody within an hour or two.
Joe? We'll call them.
Yeah.
Joe and I
Yeah.
are starting to look for houses. And
Yeah,
like,
please,
that's- Yeah.
absolutely, we'd love to help.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
And realistically, like, I mean, you know, to Anthony's point, I think that realistically, this is the problem that a lot of people have, is they look at the house, they get excited, they fall in love with it, and then the deal crashes because now they're doing the underwriting. Now they're going,
Yes.
Yeah.
oh wait, now we're gonna verify your employment.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, shouldn't you have done that?
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
a lot of
Yeah, it's
times,
crazy.
they get through the process and they can't afford the house because
Yeah,
you know, well, wait, what did you just show me? You showed me a pre-approval letter that's worth nothing.
Yeah.
exactly.
And we've seen that so often. We've heard so many deals crushing because of that factor. And I'm wondering, you know, and to your point, the you know, the bigger companies are just a name, they're just, you know, running these things
Yeah.
off, going, yes, you're approved, but you're really not.
Exactly.
So doing what you guys are doing and taking the steps of going a little bit deeper, your comfortability with that letter is a lot more firm than what
Definitely.
other folks are getting,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because the process should start with the lender.
Mhm.
Realistically, it never does.
Right.
People always go right to the realtor and
My
say,
bad.
hey, yeah, and we know it. So, and that's why we like to partner with realtors as well, because
Yeah.
it's such an emotional decision. It's the biggest purchase you're ever going to make in
Yes.
your life.
Yes.
So they go right to a realtor and they say, hey, I want to buy a home. The first question the realtor's going to ask, are you pre-approved? Right? If they're not, obviously send it my way. We'll take care of it. And then once you have the financing side of it done, go spend all your emotion looking for the perfect home.
Yep.
Right? But we'll handle it all from the very get-go to make sure that, yes, it will close. Because I don't want to waste your time, the seller's time, the realtor's time, waste any kind of money. It's not worth it for you guys. And that's why, yeah, we do a lot of the underwriting beforehand, because the last thing we want is problems as we get closer and closer.
Yeah.
So what is the true difference between a broker and a loan officer?
We're all loan officers, but
Mm-hmm.
a retail loan officer is limited to what that retail bank can offer.
There you go.
And a broker is, we work with 25 different lenders.
Correct.
So,
Ah.
yeah, so not only do we have
Okay,
all the conventional FHA, and we can shop the pricing for all those different programs, but we have all kinds of other lenders that have
Interesting.
the more complex deals for people that
Totally.
don't have that set W-2 fixed income.
Exactly.
that
So
we
instead
can
of
do
working
something.
with one person,
Yeah.
one bank, you work with.
Right.
We work
multiple.
with
Yeah.
all the banks.
Got
and,
it.
and we're the main point of contact, so you never have to work with all these other people. You
Okay.
contact me and I will handle all the work on the back end, no problem.
As a former teacher, I'd always try and break it down as simple as possible. It's almost as if I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Gas Buddy app. You can like search all the gas
I have it
prices
on my
in the
phone right
area.
now.
I mean, you're more than welcome to go to the BP gas station right by your house
Right.
every single time you
Yeah.
get gas. But what's to stop you from going on the app and saying, hey, if I drive half a mile down the road, I can save 40 cents a gallon.
Right.
That's what we
That's
do
what you
on
do.
the mortgage side.
Yeah.
Is we have all those options available. We don't have to just go to one bank. You know, we can actually access all the others and find the best deal
Yeah.
for, you know, whatever unique situation that
And that's interesting
Cool.
too. So like if you guys think about it, you know, a lot of folks go and they just go ahead to their local bank, and you're limited within that local bank to the programs that they're offering.
Correct.
And the lender, if they're not gonna service the loan, whoever they're gonna sell it to, it may only be one or two banks. Whereas you come to the broker side of this thing, they have an option and an opportunity to go, where is this person best suited to fit into, you know, the program? And you can kind of customize it, because again, not everybody brings the same financial, you know, portfolio to you, you know, and everything is different. So
Yeah.
having that luxury is great. Is there a fee for the folks out there? Is there a fee for that luxury? Meaning, is it more expensive to go through a broker than it is to go to your local bank and just stick with their programs in-house?
No, and a lot of times it's honestly cheaper.
Yeah.
So one of the things that retail banks actually try to push out when they're trying to like win business is don't go to a broker, you're gonna get hit with all these third-party fees.
There you go.
That's a lie, right?
Yeah.
We usually have lower closing costs, lower rates, and faster turn times. So, yeah, working with a broker, everybody should work with a broker, right? At the very least, get a second opinion from a broker.
Yeah.
If you work very closely with a bank, sometimes they can offer, because you have credit cards with them, or you have all these other things, sometimes they can offer, you know, certain incentives.
Yeah.
But overall, everybody should work with a broker, 100%.
That's really a good tip, and I think that if you guys are in the market, if you guys are out there looking for a home and or looking to even refinance your house because you missed it the last year, I mean, it's worthy of shopping to find it. You should never just go to one and say, okay, hey, I got this rate,
Yeah.
because determining, you know, the ability by other people is very, very healthy and very well worth it.
So how'd you get into this? We heard about your teaching. How about you?
Yeah, so
What was your
my cousin is running our team out in Michigan. The company I work for, National Mortgage Home Loans, they're in Troy, Michigan.
okay?
He's one of the top loan officers at that company, and he started his own little team, and that's how he brought us on. But
Cool.
I was in a different sales job prior. I was doing sales and marketing for different like trade show events,
Okay.
and so
Okay.
sponsorships, advertising for all these things. It was really awesome. But because they were event based, when COVID hit, all the events were getting
Crushed.
canceled.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the company just couldn't survive. We tried going digital. It just
Yeah,
it
it's-
worked for like a month or two, but like we had
Yeah.
to just shut down. So
Yeah.
it was awesome. That company was amazing. I still talk to that CEO all the time. He's
Yeah.
a great guy. But it was a blessing in disguise, honestly. It was just the kick in the ass that I needed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
for sure.
Yeah,
No.
sort of like, yeah.
Never, no censoring here. We're real.
Uh, But yeah, he said just do it. I've been trying to get you on board for a while, so just do it. And as soon as I did it, I was blessed to be honestly in that refi boom when it first happened. So
Absolutely.
a lot of my business started coming right away. Yeah, so it was great. And then yeah, he was there. He did the processing thing for a little bit, and when he was like hesitant about going back to the teaching again, I was, dude, come join the team, and it's been
Yeah.
awesome.
And how long have you been doing it, Andy? How many?
It's coming up on 2 years now.
So it's a newer company.
The company itself has been around for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the CEO and his brother, they run the company now, and
Nice.
they have 20+ years of experience, and so they've been doing an excellent job growing that company. They just moved to a new office space. They're
Good for them.
they're doing very well.
And you service all 50 states? Is that,
not
or-
yet.
Not
We're
yet?
growing,
Okay.
Yeah. So the company, a couple years when I first joined the team, they were licensed in about 4 states.
Okay.
And now they're licensed in 12.
Holy
And
cow,
so
so
they're
you're,
growing very quickly, and so
that's great.
yeah, I'm licensed in 5 personally.
I got
think-
9.
Yeah, he's got 9.
Wow.
Yeah. When he joined us, we do just sign him up.
Is this like a brother rivalry right now? High five, you're 9!
You may have sold more, but I got 9 states. Yeah.
How is it working with each other? Do you guys love it?
I mean, it's
Do you have to earmuff? Well, the other one answers or no?
No.
Okay.
No, we're pretty good about that. Honestly, like he's licensed in more states. Cool. Like take this deal and make it happen. Let's get
Yeah.
it done. Like
Yeah.
we try to treat our business as a partnership. So
That's really
when I did that logo change, it wasn't just for show. Like when we go to meet new people, like you're getting a mortgage team. You're not just getting
Yeah.
me. You're getting a team of people that are always going to be with you 24/7.
That's really cool.
AO
Yeah.
the Mortgage Bros.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so
And
good.
it's hot. It's
Yeah.
cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's something up and coming. And
Yeah.
if you guys need a loan, if there's
We need
something that you
t-shirts.
guys need to
We
do,
have-
yeah, right,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's-
Oh my god!
Yeah, Brandon right now. You think I'll walk
And
out?
Brandon, right?
Yeah, you think I'll walk out without swag? Of course.
Wow. He's doing
All
it.
right, we have a question from a viewer.
All right.
Sure.
a
For
viewer
each
asks.
of you,
Cool.
what's the best part about your job?
Mm.
Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Yeah, you can start, go ahead.
The flexibility is
Yeah.
mind blowing. Like,
Yeah.
even just today driving over here, I'm like, oh, it's 9:30, and like my teacher brain is like still there a little bit, where I'm like, oh, like this would be my planning period where
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit in my classroom and try and get stuff done, but I also need like an hour just to like decompress from dealing with all the kids and all the nonsense.
Sure.
So, you know, it's just the flexibility, you know, just being able to be here. Like if I was still teaching, I wouldn't be able to be here with
Absolutely.
you guys, you know. I
Oh, we wouldn't want you here.
Of course,
I'm just
yeah. But no, just being able to have more freedom
Yeah.
while making more money on the honestly, but also like helping people purchase homes. Like it's so cool because like I had my wife's cousin. She just got married and they're looking to buy a house, and like her husband was like, yeah, like I have a debit card and credit card with Chase. I'm gonna go. Sorry, just threw it out there. But he's like, I'm gonna go to Chase and get a pre-approval, and then I'll hit you up. I'm like, no.
Just
Like,
hit me up now.
I'm the
would
pretty
do
rule
that.
guy, yeah.
So like the education background that I have, being
Yeah.
able to help people like that, as well as make such a big purchase,
It's awesome.
It's cool. It's
Yeah.
really really cool. I like it a
That's
lot.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's again, everything that we do is about the people that we meet and the relationships. So I love just meeting new people and learning what they want to do in the future, whether it's buying their first home or buying an investment property, whatever the case may be. But for me, it sounds kind of cheesy, but like that little moment where the mom tells, like a single mom tells her kid, like, this is our home now. And the
Yeah.
kid is so happy, like, I have my own room, like
Yeah.
that
That's sweet.
feeling, like it's
That's cool.
man, I love what I do.
That's really
And I
cool.
feel like for me, like the money might come later on.
Yeah.
I don't care so much about the money.
Yeah.
I never really wanted to do a job for the money, and
Yeah.
doing what I do now, like it means so much to help that family out, and then they become like part of your family as well. So like I want to be your lender for life. So like I want to help you with your home. Let me help your family into their home
Right on.
and do that kind of stuff. So yeah, that
Yeah.
feeling of getting somebody into a home
That's
that
really
they've been
awesome.
waiting for a long time is the best.
You know, it's just amazing to hear you guys speak passionately about what you do.
Yeah.
We've said throughout our time doing this show that we try to align ourselves with people that are of the alike thinking.
Yeah.
And we're very passionate about what we do. We take pride and pleasure in those wins of people finding their forever home or getting out of debt or helping them with whatever struggles they're dealing with. And to hear that, you know, it's not about just get deal after deal after deal. It's really feeling good about what you just did.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, so you earned a couple dollars doing it, but that doesn't overshadow the real underlying point of
Yeah.
these folks were able to do the American
Yeah.
dream.
If I do it the right way, the money will come.
Yep,
That's
absolutely.
really all it
And
comes down to.
I wouldn't have taught for 6 years if I was solely focused on money. Yeah. So yeah, that just kind of goes to.
But even the refi stuff, I helped my uncle refi. He wasn't sure, and I was like, "Hey, this is what I do. Let me just talk to you. We'll just do an annual review of your mortgage, right? Everybody should do an annual review of their mortgage. Just take a look. If you can save money, why not?"
Yeah.
Right.
And so I looked through his stuff, and I was like, "You got these kind of debts, and how are you handling it? Blah blah blah." We went through his whole file, and I was like, "Dude, you should do this refi." I went through all the numbers, and now he's saving $1,500 a month.
A month.
Yeah,
A month.
Not only did
That is-
we brought his mortgage down to a 15-year. He's at like a 2% interest rate, and which is ridiculously
Dumb.
low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we did a cash out refinance, so we used some of the cash out to pay off his other debts.
Oh my god,
And
that's
so
so
all the
good.
money he
Yeah.
saved on it, $1,500 a month is a lot
Yeah.
of money. And so
It is.
that's like
Yeah.
it's not it's not insignificant
Yeah.
No.
to do that.
No.
And like you do all those numbers yourself. Like that's so that's like you're talking to the
It's all right here. I'm
people.
gonna use a computer. It's
Yeah,
all- It's
right.
right here. Yeah. I'm kidding.
No, it's
I was like, he's a wizard.
I mean, it's $18,000 a year that you ultimately just saved
Yeah.
your uncle in a simple process
Yeah.
like that. Now, don't get us wrong. You can't get that 2% today.
No.
Yes.
You know
Sorry.
that 2% has since left us, but
Interest rates are generally lower on 15 years versus
Yeah, 15-year is at a
Yeah.
lower rate than
Yeah.
a 30-year.
Yeah.
We have a family friend that I actually just uploaded the loan this morning, but we're saving him 2 years on his loan because he's refinancing, doing a cash out, paying off some debt with it, and so like I said, we're saving him 2 years and we're keeping his interest rate the same, and it's gonna save him about like I think $1,200 a month, just without the credit card debt anymore, and without this, without that, and they have extra money to fix up the house and
Yeah.
increase the equity and the value anyway.
That's really great.
It's a no-brainer for him.
what do you guys look for in partnering with like other businesses, title companies, and realtors and that? What is it that you guys seek out when you're kind of trying to make those relationships? What's important to you guys?
Real people, just not like robotic, like you said, like just you're a number, you're a file, push it to the next person, push it to the next person, hopefully it closes, like, someone you can actually build a relationship with and, go out to coffee, maybe watch a Bears game, hopefully they win, but probably not.
No,
Bear
probably-
down.
probably
He's a
not.
Packers fan, so
Okay.
I might have just ruined that
Yeah,
relationship.
it's
with
okay,
the Packers
it's okay.
fan.
Yeah, like you said, though, it's the passion. It's like
Yeah.
people who really care about what they do. That's what I want. If, I've had a ton of realtor meetings trying to develop relationships. If in that meeting I think that you just want like, hey, when are you gonna send me a deal?
Yeah.
I don't want to work with you. Not
Yeah.
for any nothing against you, but my mindset's not the same. Like I want to grow in a way that is gonna be people that are like minded and we're all gonna grow together.
Yeah.
Not just here's a transaction.
Yeah.
I don't want transactional
Yeah.
relationships. I
No.
want real relationships.
Yeah, and I think that makes, you talk about these networking events and, different event, it never happens on the first deal. It
Yeah.
typically happens on the third or fourth
Mhm.
time that you've met them, because, the first time is just exchanging, information.
Yeah, sure.
Second, third, fourth time is talking a little bit more in depth about you and
Yeah.
individuals and learning a little bit more about, maybe their family, or you hear they're married, or you hear about their kids, and you kind of go through conversations, and and that's where the rapport really begins.
Definitely.
And as you said, to be able to pick up the phone and go, hey, I got a problem with this one, knowing that we're gonna work alongside you to work that out, versus going, oh, yeah, yep, you do.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Luck, yeah.
Well, let me know how it turns out.
Exactly. I mean, we're,
Yeah.
Sucks.
that's where you just kind of, get in the trenches and treat it, and, being a smaller company, we're able to do that, and you guys kind of, fitting into the model of, being licensed in a couple different places and working with a lot of different people, you're gonna run across a lot of different opportunities and a lot of different people, but I really commend you in what you're doing in the relational value and the passionate piece of that, because that's truly what I wish more people in our industry would do, versus just the, like you said, where's my next deal, where's me, what about me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not that way, it's just,
Yeah.
like you said, it's gotta be reciprocal, it can't be one way.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of greed out there in the world, and we've seen it and we've lived it.
Mhm.
If you guys have any questions, if there's anything that you guys wanna ask, we've got, Andy and Anthony, also known as, the, AO Bros.
They owe the mortgage bros.
Sorry, I misspoke.
They do mortgages.
AO, the Mortgage Bros. We're really, thankful to have you guys. So I know you've been, why don't you ask your question? I like your question.
My horror
Yeah,
stories.
I really like that.
I mean, so maybe since you guys both had careers, professions before this, if you want to go into a horror story pre-mortgage or a horror story in this day and age.
Oh, man.
In high school,
I'm
like
sure
that,
in high school,
so,
yeah.
All right,
So
yeah. So
yeah.
we had I run a podcast as well with my partner. We try to just like mortgage related stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the episodes we did after he joined the team was like, let's get to meet the team. So like since we were all in different places, we all got together and did one. And he was given a background story I'll let you talk about, but like as a teacher, his first job was in Inglewood
Look at
in
his
Chicago. Like there's a million stories from
No,
there.
there's no avoiding these stories. I was-
Comes up yet again.
So I was a math teacher, my first year teaching. So I had taught my student teaching. I don't know if you're familiar with the teaching experience, but student teaching my last semester of college, I was in Pekin, Illinois, which is down by Peoria, cornfield area,
Yeah.
farm town.
Did you live down there?
I
Or did
lived
you-
at ISU and commuted to Pekin. I went to ISU.
Okay.
So that was fun in and of itself. But so
Something
I was
else.
there, and then I graduated. I got my first teaching job in Inglewood, Chicago, and I went from a farm town to the south south side of the city. Thank you. And yeah, I just had to go from trying to teach these farm town kids about equations to teaching these students with bullet wounds and ankle bracelets and all of this about equations and formulas and
And I'm
this
sure
and
they're
that.
really like
Yeah.
in at every class, right?
No, yeah. So
Very involved.
I basically just try to put out fires, prevent fights. We had to lock our door and go on lockdown probably once a week because there was a local shooting right outside the school.
Dude, like
The school day was from 8 to 4 because the students at that school in that area are so below where they're supposed to be in terms of like academic standards. The school day went till 4 and wintertime, 4 o'clock,
It's dark.
it's kind of dark.
dude.
Kids like, Mr. Day, can you stay after school and help me with this homework? I'm just like, I'll see you in the morning, man.
You know, like
gotta go.
I'm tapped out.
I gotta go, man. I'm sorry. So yeah,
Yeah.
school got out at 4 and I was on the Dan Ryan by like 4:05.
407.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
just flying out of there
Well,
just
that's
because
a long
yeah.
day.
So
That's a long day.
How
Yeah.
sad though, truly, like as you're standing in that building and you're looking amongst the students and you're seeing what you're seeing, like, I just hearing you, it's sad.
Yeah,
It's
it really,
just-
it is.
Yeah, it was very eye opening. One
Yeah.
story just to piggyback off that. It's kind of it's short, it's funny, but so it was like the end of class, and like usually I was always like the teacher. Like if we have some time, like you guys can go talk, hang out with your friends, sit on your phone. Like, I really don't care. Just don't be walking around the room causing trouble, and like don't do anything stupid. So I built that rapport with them. This one kid, we'll just call him Jay, but he was standing by the window, and he's like looking outside like very attentively. He's like just looking around. We're in the third story of the school, so we're kind of above the neighborhood a little bit, and he's like staring. He's like, Mr. O'Day, I got a question. I'm like, okay, what's up? He goes, was it always black and white outside, or like when did like color come out where like everything outside like turned to color? I was like, okay, grab a seat. Let's talk about this. And I was like, the world was always in color, but television appeared black and white. And he goes, oh, I'm dumb as hell. everyone in the class just started laughing at it. It was super
I thought
funny.
he was gonna ask you what his range of his 9 would be.
No.
I thought he was gonna ask if you got a rope that you could climb out of the window.
No. It was a genuine question
Wow.
that he had in his mind.
Yeah.
And it ended up being very lighthearted. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it-
naturally, everyone in the class started laughing.
Sure,
Because it was funny.
sure.
I was laughing myself.
Sure.
It was just hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of those kids, the system is not set up very well for them in their favor, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
And
It is.
they don't
And it-
pay enough to the teachers to make up for that difference
Yeah.
where they really should be, even though teachers should be making more.
Agreed.
But so.
Well, yeah, because I
That's a good
went
start.
to school to be a high school history teacher.
Oh, okay.
So I student taught, and it was that same thing. It was like my last semester. I had to do 4.5 years. So I
Oh,
student
okay.
taught so I was legitimately driving there at 6:30 in the morning, driving home at 4:30 at night, and
Yeah.
I was like, "There's no sun anymore." Like
Yeah.
I don't see like it's a long
Yeah.
day for
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
to.
It's, yeah, it's sad.
That November to like April grind of
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
it's dark as hell out. It's the worst.
It
I
is.
actually at that same school. I don't mean to keep talking about this, but
It's okay.
No, that's
at
why.
that same school, I walked in one day. It was like a Tuesday, maybe the 3-4 weeks into the school year.
Mhm.
Again, first year teaching, and the teacher next door to me was the English teacher. I had walked in right when I usually did, and I was like, "Hey, good morning. How's it going?" She goes, "I was like, how's your day going?" She goes, "I'm having a terrible day." I was like, "Okay, relax. What's wrong?" She goes, "I just got robbed at gunpoint in the parking lot. I have to go talk to HR." I was like,
That's a terrible day.
"Oh
So
shit."
yeah, so you were having.
That just happened.
Yeah, so she had pulled up. I guess there was like some local like crackhead, I
Yeah.
guess, that was like scoping out the school and noticed that she always arrived to school at like 5:30 in the morning, way
Oh.
before everybody else. And he approached her with a sawed-off shotgun, stole her wallet, phone, keys, car, everything. And then they caught him later in the day after like a high-speed chase. He's like a wanted felon. It was like this whole
Oh.
crazy thing. And she's like crying to me, and I'm like, I am so sorry. Like,
Yeah.
that is horrible.
Yeah.
She's
That-
like,
that
I think
qualifies as a
she
bad
goes,
day.
I think I want to go home. I'm like, dude, go home. Go home. Like, what are you
You
talking
need to
about?
leave. I'm not
Yeah.
telling you. Yeah.
And she worked there for like an extra like I left that school immediately after that year.
Yeah.
I almost didn't even want to finish after the first month, but I was like, it's my first year teaching. I can't
Gotta
mess this
fulfill
up,
it.
whatever. So I stuck it out. But she ended up working there for like 4 more years, and now she's working at like a similar school, doing a similar thing, and it's just,
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
So I think hearing you talk, you're passionate about people.
Right.
Oh,
You know what I
100%.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Whether it be the kids that you used to teach or the people that you're helping out now,
Yeah.
like you're passionate about people,
Yeah,
which is a very cool
I've
thing
always
to be able to do.
I've always been like that, and even now, even though I left teaching, like even later today, I'm tutoring 2 students on Zoom that like I've been working with. I'm not gonna be like, hey, sorry, I do mortgages now, like,
Yeah.
you know.
No,
so
it's-
I gonna jump on Zoom. I have some students. I have a first grader that I tutor, so like I still do all of that,
Yeah.
even if it has nothing to do with mortgages, even if it like. It is not about me networking and trying
Yeah.
to get a deal and like, hey, tell your mom that
Right.
she should refi. Like,
Right.
you know,
I actually
like
love
nothing
tutoring.
like
I
that.
tutored for a long
Yeah,
time. That
and
was really cool.
it's I like it. So you know,
Yeah, that
I just
one
love
I
being around people. And,
Yeah.
You guys are hearing it. This is genuine, and these
Yeah.
conversations, even though it's not necessarily always about mortgage or always about real estate or title, it's about people, and you'll learn a little bit more about these guys, and we thank you guys for being real, and thank you guys for being part of this. We do a Home for Heroes program that we give back to heroes, and heroes are, the frontline workers and police and firemen and teachers.
And teachers, yeah.
And it's something that, if you guys are doing loans for any of those folks and, sending them this way so we can help them out in that process as well, it just anything we can do to giving back to those folks that are working in the community and helping out the community, it's such a great space to be, and it's something that's very important to us, and it's something that I'm very passionate about, and part of what we do as a team is giving back to the community. Every closing we do, we give back to a charity from the proceeds
Awesome.
from that closing,
Cool.
and
Love
it's
that.
something that
Yeah,
that's
it's
what we want to do. Is it's not about us; it's bigger than us.
Yeah.
And one of my goals here in the next hopefully 18 months, hopefully it doesn't go longer, but is to do a Habitat for Humanity that isn't funded by the Inspired Title team, that we just build a house for somebody. And
That'd be really cool.
Wow, very cool.
it's something that I really want to get people on board with, and work with people that are like-minded. Just listening to you guys talk, you
Yeah.
guys are real, and
Yeah.
and I can't thank you guys more than, for being that way and vulnerable to telling your stories, and even though they're maybe sad, people need to hear this stuff. It's real. It's
Yeah.
out there.
It is real, yeah, that's
It's
what it
just
is.
out there.
Yeah.
You guys need a loan. You guys need a mortgage. You guys need this conversation about finances. These are definitely guys to talk to. Why don't you guys give an endless plug of how they can get a hold of you and all that fun, other than pointing to above your head? Give them the vocal version of it.
Sure. Phone number is right there, 708-439-16. Email, text, call, whatever. I'd love to take care of you and go through some numbers with you.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
For me, social media is super easy. My Facebook, my TikTok, my Instagram, AO the Mortgage Pro, super easy.
Yeah.
And yeah, anytime. And even if you're working with a lender already, let us give you a second opinion. There's no cost
Yeah.
to do an application and run through the numbers. Let me just
Yeah.
kind of go through it with you and see what we can do that it's going to make sense for you and your family in the future.
Sure.
I love it. It's really been a great opportunity to sit and have these guys out here, and we need to have more conversations with people like you guys, and doing business with people like these guys really just thoroughly makes us excited about what we do and why we do it each and every day. So hopefully you guys learned something today. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit more about the business, the industry, the difference between a mortgage broker and just going into your bank, and some of the programs that might be available to you. So we're going to let you guys get out of here and enjoy your weekend after a long weekend that just happened. We thank you guys for being a part of this today and joining us. My name is Drew.
And my name is Amy.
We are your Inspired Title team. We thank you guys for tuning into another week. Until next time, take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Peace.
Well, there you have it. That is it for this week's edition of Title Talk. Be sure to head over to our Inspired YouTube page and subscribe and like. And make sure you follow the team on Instagram and Facebook. Join us again next time for more tips and knowledge from the industry pros. Thanks again for listening.